Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody on this wonderful Monday morning? I see we got my buddy Hitch in the house already this morning. How you doing, Hitch? Good to see you. We got the Rocky Cam fired up again this morning. I had a little trouble getting it going. It apparently doesn't like Mondays, but we got the Rocky Cam live. Well, Jack's over there licking on himself, looks like. Yeah, that's great. Hope everybody's got some good hot coffee. Get ready to get this week kicked off here. So let me check real quick and make sure. Yeah, I see some YouTube comments dragging in here. Good morning, Troy. How are you this morning? Brian Moomey, good to see you, buddy. Hope everything's going well for you this Monday morning. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about here. Let me see if I can get this going here. Let's see here. Make sure that's running over there. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to clear something up real quick here if I can. Let me get this opened up over here. Just to show you how bad my memory is. Because I'm getting old, folks. Hey, Javi's in the house. How you doing, Javi? Yeah, good day. Fed holiday, so no work. Yeah, let me do my share screen thing here real quick. I wanted to clear this up. I goofed up. Last Friday I was saying, telling a story about this guy that was falling asleep in this Tesla, and for some reason I was thinking it was in Atlanta. I guess it's because I saw it on the local Atlanta news, but it was actually in Massachusetts. So I wanted to clear that up. I didn't want anybody to say, "Hey, don't watch that Dave guy on Coffee Sessions," because that's fake news. So got that out of the way. So it was in Massachusetts and not in Atlanta. Although I'm sure there's probably been plenty of sleepy drivers in Atlanta too. So also want to say happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends. Today is Thanksgiving Day in Canada, according to the calendar. And also, there are 3 or 4 videos like these. Yeah. Well, you know, when they make these cars that'll pretty much drive by themselves, you're probably going to see a lot more of this going on here. So, I also, you know, when I was talking, let's see, we got Dave Clemens in the house. How you doing? From Cardiac Rehab. Morning all. All right, good. Hope you're doing well, Dave. I was talking about how proud Jack was the other day when he found that ball in the dark. And so I thought I would share just a quick video with you this morning of kind of what he looked like, although it was dark when he did it. But let's see if I can show you the yeah, this is what he looks like when he brings the ball up to the door. And you can see that the glass is all smudged from what I like to call nose art from my puppy dogs. But yeah, he loves getting that ball and bringing it up here and showing me that he got it. So there you see the Jackster doing something besides just laying around like you do now, because he's like right, where is he? Right there. So anyhow, good morning to you. How you doing? Let's see what we got. We got some few folks watching this morning. What's on everybody's mind this morning? What Everybody have a big weekend. I was really busy this weekend. I had a lot to do in the shop, and actually had a few issues that kind of delayed things. So I'm really running behind. So I'm going to have another busy day today. Dave Clemens says, yes, doing very good. I go 3 times a week, doing 5 miles today. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got an issue going on with my machine out there. Well, it's not the machine, it's the connection. It keeps losing that connection, and it's driving me nuts. I've swapped everything around. I've swapped cables. I move stuff around to make sure it's not up against a any electrical electrical cords and stuff like that. Don't want to go to work at noon Monday. Yeah, I know the feeling, or I used to know the feeling. Greg or Hitch said he did a little DIY repair on his air conditioner. Good for you, Greg. I usually don't fool with air conditioners. I got a company that's pretty good about handling that. Of course, I had my whole system replaced. Oh, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 years ago now. So it's still doing good. And they come out. In fact, they're due to come out sometime this month. They come out every fall and every spring. And like in the fall, they come out and they check the furnace and make sure, it's running. They'll turn it on and let it run, get the house all hot there for a while. And then every spring they do the same thing, come out and check the air conditioner. So they keep it in tip-top shape. Let's see. Brian says he's busy in the garage, made 5 flags on the garage works now for the finishing work today. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I really like the look of those flags. They're pretty cool. Did I add anything to the shop recently that could be causing interference? Now, that's what's really gotten me scratching my head is, nothing, absolutely nothing's changed. I don't have any of my computers on the internet or, nothing there. It's just driving me nuts. I really think it's because when I finally got it, because sometimes when it stops, I restart it, rehome it, bring it back. And I haven't lost any work. I always get right back, when it stops, I write down the line number and I go to that line and start right from there. So I'm not losing any work. It's just the hassle of the time I'm losing having to restart it. And sometimes when it stops, I'll restart it and it'll run like 2 minutes and do it. And then other times it'll run 30, 45 minutes before it does it. So I really think it's that little connection that plugs into the UC100. That's the weak spot of those things, because if you wiggle it just the least little bit, it does it. Either that or, he says maybe the UC100 is starting to fail. That was my first thought, because the one that I was using originally was old, but I have 3 of them. So I've switched them out, switched the cables, the whole 9 yards, and it's still doing it. So I think it's just that the way I have my wires hanging, because the last time when I did it, I kind of had it hooked on something where there wasn't any pressure on that, and I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I got to run that thing again today, and got to get her done. So let's see. Earl Walker says, "Born Dave, have to go Facebook, maybe. Nowhere to comment today on YouTube. I got my hot cocoa and donuts. It's break time." Okay. Oh, he's on Facebook, I guess. Let's see. We got Charles Steed. Good morning, Dave and everyone. Barry Curtis. Good Monday morning. Yeah, those pin solder joints fail pretty easy. Yeah, it's just I think I'm going to have to break down. You know, I've always bought the UC 100s just because they're the cheapest thing, and I've always had great luck with them. But you know, they're all getting some age on them now, so I think I'm going to maybe get one of the different ones. Maybe even go with one of the Ethernet ones. I don't know. All right, Hobby's got a question of the day. What kind of office chair or recliner do you prefer? Arms or no, rolling or fixed? Electric recliner or simple chairs? Okay, well, we'll see what people say. I'm setting in a, I don't know, it's one of those faux black leather office chairs. It doesn't go way up, you know, it doesn't have the high back like a lot of them. And it does have arms on it, which I've got all scraped up from sliding under the desk here. But yeah, I'm pretty simple. And of course it has that little adjustable thing where you can actually push it in and then it won't rock back, where you can pull that lever out and now it will lean back. And then it has the, you know, the thing where you can set up off of it and raise the lever and it'll raise up or lower it. But yeah, nothing fancy for me. Rolling with arms and reclines. Yeah, we're getting all the me too. Yeah, that, like I said, that's the weak spot of that thing. Now, the one I use in my shop, I have my breakout board. Well, all my electronics are mounted to a board, and it's just hanging on a hook on the wall. And my breakout board is one of those where you push the UC 100 right on the one parallel port of that, and then a little short parallel cable going from there to the box, the drive box. I'm using one of those old Xylotex drive boxes out there, and I never have any problem with that one. And I think it's because, you know, it's right there where there's no, I don't know, out there in the garage where I have it, the wire kind of hangs sometimes. So it's like the only thing that's holding it together is the friction of that thing. And I think it just, it's just getting wore out. So rolling arms 6-way adjust. You know, it looks like some of you guys got some fancy chairs. I have a small rocker because I can't sit still for a minute. Got to have the high back. I tend to like to nap in it for small bouts. I could not take a nap in this chair for sure. And I have another one that's similar, but I think it's got a little bit higher back. But yeah, if I'm going to take a nap, I'm heading to the recliner. Good morning, Ryan. How you doing? How you coming on your solar panels? Rockers are nice. I have to make a couple for the porch. Let's see. My UC 100 has black tape. Yeah, I did that. In fact, I probably need to do that again, because I did that when I first put it out there, and I never had any issue. And then I took it off because I had to swap out a different UC 100. I have 3 UC 100s, and you know, I usually run Mach 3, but I also have UC CNC software. Well, whenever I want to run that software, I have to use a particular UC 100. There's only one out of the 3 that I can use because that's the way their license works. So if I'm using the wrong one and try to load UC CNC, it'll come up in demo mode. It will only come up in the license mode if it has the right one. So I have to keep running out and finding the one that's got the right serial number on it and moving it around. And so that's what I did. I Um, I need to go back and tape that thing up. We got we were too loud again, and we woke Zach up. How you doing, Zach? Got your coffee? Let's see here. Ryan says he's got 8 more panels to put up. Going to get the rest of the wire today. All righty. Let's see here. Let me shut this off over here. Yeah, as usual, we've got a lot more people, I guess, over on the tubes than we do Facebook. But that's about par for the course, I guess. Yeah, and it looks like another dead day on the Rocky Cam. Not much going on there at all. Jeff Nearcorn in the house. How you doing, Jeff? Hobby says some of those are pretty nice. Looks like I'm buying a gaming chair for the container office. Yeah, I see a lot of well, I guess they're gamers, but they a lot of podcasters and YouTubers and stuff that have those fancy gaming chairs. They look pretty nice, but I have no idea how much they are. They're probably a lot more expensive. Landis said, I had a problem with my UC100, placed the sticky back and tie, wrapped it to my back plane, then added 2 ferrite coils on each end. No more stops. Now that's a good idea. Yeah. Like I said, I tried all kinds of things yesterday. I even totally switched computers. I thought, because at first I'm thinking, well, maybe it's because the computer I normally use to run that machine is that little computer that came in that kiosk. And a lot of those USB things, when you stick them in there, they seem kind of loose. So I thought, okay, I'll even rule out the computer and I'll switch to the other computer because the cable's long enough that'll reach over there. And like I said, I got it started on that other computer and it ran great. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, maybe that something's going bad with them USBs in it. And then it stopped again right on the last part. And anyway, a very frustrating day, but fortunately, like I said, I have homing switches, so I never lost a single piece as long as I leave everything clamped down and check and make sure, you know, I write down the line number and I can go right to it, take off right where I left off. And also this particular program it's the Gatton CNC parts kit. So there's 21 parts, and right in the middle where I set my 0, there's not a part, there's just scrap from the skeleton. So I have in the program where as soon as I hit cycle start, first thing it does is come down and puts a little bit of a hole right there in the center. So I can always find my 0 again, running that, even if for some reason the homing switches wouldn't work. But yeah, it's just one of those things. But I think the best bet is to start upgrading a little bit from the UC100. They're pretty cool when you first get them because everything's nice and tight, but then after you've had them a while, that little dinky connection just is the weak spot. So yeah, getting noise from some electronics, the chokes might help. Yeah. Troy says, Johnny's CNC setup was pretty cool Saturday night. I'm a little leery of the flash drive G code. Only time will tell. Hope all works for him. Well, if it's designed to run like that, it probably will be okay. Because it's probably got a big enough spot where it pulls the code in a buffer area so that that would work, I'm guessing. But yeah, it probably probably do okay. I just don't recommend it, for like if you're running a regular computer, why run it from the flash drive? Bring it to the hard drive and run it from there. The gaming chairs start at $60. Most are around 100. Okay, well they're a lot more reasonable than I thought. It just shows you I never look at gaming stuff. Earl says, yeah, he's on YouTube now. As long as one of your limit switches aren't failing. Yeah, limit switches are still doing good. I use the little cheapy ones like this right here. You can get about 6 of these for $10 or something off of Amazon. But they seem to work okay. I haven't had any trouble. And I only use 3. I buy like a pack of 6. And then that way, if I do screw something up and it mashes this and bends it all up, I can just replace the switch. Super cheap. So let's see. Troy says, just make sure you have a quality flash drive, I suppose. Yeah. And I found that I have one. Let's see. It's probably laying around here somewhere. It must be stuck out in that machine somewhere. But I have one that I've been using forever. But I noticed that anytime you plug something in and out, after a while, it'll get where, I plug it in sometimes and it doesn't, the computer doesn't find it right away. And then you have to pull it out and wiggle it and stick it in. And eventually it'll work. But I keep thinking, well, it's time for old Dave to buy a new flash drive because I about wore that one out. I don't know where that one is. It's usually right here. But yeah, I need to buy a new one. I see Ron Coffee in the house. Good morning, Ron. What else we got there? Yeah, how many of y'all saw my my Facebook post this morning? Landis says, we'll be sending you a few pictures this week. Just build a battery box for my military Jeep. Cut out on the Gatton. Cut out on the Patton, but I think you mean Gatton. Then bend and weld it in box. Okay. Cool. Look forward to seeing those pictures. Yeah, I did that post, and actually, you know how the Facebook does those memory things? That is actually a post. Yeah, Deep Thoughts with Dave Gatton. Yeah, that was actually a post, and I'm sure I probably just copied and pasted that from somewhere, and I don't know whose quote that is originally, because I always, if I know who said it, I'll give them the credit for saying it, but yeah, that was something I had posted exactly 10 years ago today. And then in the comments from that first post 10 years ago, I thought it was interesting because I had made a comment talking about that the Dow had just gone over, again, this is 2009, had just gone over 10,000. And now it's, well, I just checked a while ago, it's about 27,000. So big difference from 2009. Came up as not available on Facebook for me. I'll have to go check. I usually have all my stuff set to, well, I just messed up and turned that off. I usually have all my stuff set to public because if I don't, somebody will gripe and say, oh, I can't see that. Let me see if I can go find that and see what yeah, it's posted right on my timeline, so you should be able to see it. Yeah, it doesn't even give me the option to change the privacy, but yeah, everything should be set to public there, I think. So I don't know why you're not able to see that. But anywho, well, I may try to do, since it looks like it's a slow morning here, I may try to do the mystery guest thing. Yeah. You know, what I do is I'll send a link to somebody randomly. I'll pick somebody randomly out of the chat and send them a link. I got to get in the right thing here. So far, my score is Mystery Guest 2, Dave Zips, because I haven't been able to get anybody to join me. So maybe I'll try that again here. We'll pick somebody out of the chat here and see. Dixon says, took me 3 days to find an intermittent bad safety key switch on a big machine at work, just the way it goes. Yeah, sometimes it's just the littlest, stupidest thing that that's hard to track down. So, Hobby says, I remember that 10K day. Yeah, I think a lot of folks do. Jeff Nearcorn says, thanks to Trump. Yeah. That's what printing money will do for the Dow. Yeah, that's true too. Let's see. It was, let's see, he says it was a little plastic key switch. Yeah. Yeah, I remember those days having to work on machinery and stuff. And that's, you know, it's just like cars. And when they put all that fancy stuff, the more stuff you put on it, the more stuff there is to fail. So, you know, I've run machines that had proximity switches and, you know, all kinds of different things. And one thing goes wrong and it, you know, may give you an error that you think it's something else, and you have to troubleshoot it, and takes a while sometimes. Let's see. Who am I going to pick over here? Let's see. We got about 26 folks watching here. So if I try to find somebody, let's see. All right, I've got somebody in mind here. Let me do the invite thing and see if I can get the mystery person to join. If not, I am I am 0 for 3. You know, have to come up with a different. I know a lot of folks are camera shy and stuff, but I do this because this platform by the good folks at StreamYard make it really super easy to do live streaming. These things are also great for chats. Javi and I talk all the time. We'll pull up one of these that's a test session, so it's not live, it's not broadcast anywhere, but we just kind of use it for a like what the old Hangouts were, or kind of like Skype. You can think of it as kind of like being on Skype. But it really, you know, it really makes it easy for people to stay in touch with each other. You know, like, of course, social media does, But to me, this is a whole lot better than spending, 30 minutes doing this, or in my case, this, because I only can do it with the one finger. Um, you know, so it really makes it easy for people to stay in touch. And I'm surprised that more people don't use stuff like this. I mean, with all the things that are out there, people just don't stay in touch like they used to. Yeah, Brian Ballard said he's going to have to start calling me the Dolphins in reference to the 0-3. And it looks like I might. Looks like I might be 0-3 here after this. So, Roll Tide, Jim Burr. Yeah, the Alabama Crimson Tide got by with another squeaker Saturday. I think it was like 47-28 or something like that. So, breakfast has been made at the Ballard house. Good, good. I hope you got some bacon this time. He was out of bacon the other day. Let's see. See if I missed any relevant comments here. Yeah, that's what my dad used to say, just more things to go. Well, it is. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, like we were talking about old cars Friday. Well, think about it. Cars now have all kinds of fancy stuff. You got power windows, power seats, heaters on your seats and power mirrors and all this stuff. Okay, so, you get in the car and you move the seat back with your little power seat thing. And then your little short wife gets in the car to go somewhere and the power seat's not working. It fails. Well, how's she going to drive that car now? Back in the old days, you just manually move everything. Same thing with windows. You crank the windows down. It's how many old cars have you seen that have crank windows and they failed? They quit cranking. Not very many. But I've already replaced one of the motors on my window. I went to, when it was a rainy day, I stopped at McDonald's a few years ago on my way to work to get a biscuit. And it was rainy, and I pulled up to the thing. I lowered my window, and when I got ready to drive off, raised the window up. Guess what? It wouldn't go up. So I'm like, oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, Ron's got a solution here. He says, Uber. Yeah. No more Yellow Pages book. Short wife has a problem. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing, too. Do they still make Yellow Pages and phone books? I mean, every once in a while, I'll get one, and I hate to say it, but they drive by and they throw it out in one of those, it'll be wrapped in a little bag, and they throw it out in the driveway. And I go up there and pick it up, take it straight to the trash. I don't even look at it, but it's one of those real thin Yellow Pages. And I don't know why they even bother making those anymore. I guess some people might try to read them. Yeah, Dixon Hoffman. Well, I don't know why I want to call him Dustin Hoffman. Sorry about that. When I see Hoffman, I always want to call you Dustin Hoffman. Dixon Hoffman. He says 3 tools for the Model T. Yeah, simple is good. Simple is good. Plus, you could get it in any color you wanted as long as it was black. Yeah. Dixon says, I'm just a techie nut, so I like it, but you're right. Yeah. I'm just a simple guy. I always like simple things. It seems like life is easier if you keep things simple. And yeah, Jimbo Burt says, how many people use paper phone books these days? I can't remember the last time I saw not a Yellow Pages, but a phone book that has residences and stuff in it. I don't, yeah. Joe Downer, welcome, Joe, to the coffee sessions. He says, I agree, cars need to reinstate old tech. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're getting a little too fancy. Of course, they never go back. They'll keep, they like it where they can, something goes wrong and you have to take it and have somebody else fix it because, the mechanics, well, they don't even like to be called mechanics anymore. They're technicians, auto technicians. Yeah. Let's see. I saw another comment I want to. Yeah, the everything should be simple. Life should be simple. I try to keep mine that way. They over-engineer to make money. Boy, ain't that the truth. Everyone's a technician these days. Yep. They specialize that way they can charge you more money. And I used to, back we were talking about the tools and stuff the other day too, and my old Craftsman tools and stuff. I used to work on my own cars. Used to change my own oil and fix any minor. I mean, heck, I've even in the driveway swapped motors and stuff. Done. But that was back when I could see good. The problem I have now when I get up under a car with bifocals, I'm never looking through the right part and I can't see what I'm doing. So I gave that up. But yeah, I gave all of the tools that I have or had that had anything to do with, and some of them were like homemade tools where you make a certain tool to get to a spot that's hard to reach on a car. When I was changing over those motors, there's some things I had to make just to be able to get to it. But all of that stuff that I had, I gave to my son because he's not he might be considered an auto technician, but I don't think he does that anymore. I think he's doing the auto glass stuff. But all the tools I had that had anything to do with working on cars, I just said, here, you take them because I'm done. I can't see good enough to work on them anymore. And I don't enjoy laying under a car anymore. So let's see here. Troy says, keep it simple like a Gatton CNC instead of wood chisels. Yep. It is pretty simple. I mean, it's try to make it simple where anybody can build it. Some things never change. Well, let's see. Let me read his first comment. When they went from turning dials to buttons, the radio stations started to drift off frequency. Nowadays, my computerized radio switched channels on me because the programming needed an update. All righty. Dixon says, who can bend over a car at our age? Yeah. I'm doing good to be able to get into the car to drive it, much less. Greg said, I had an offset box end wrench that was to go to tool for the Lotus. Yeah. Yeah, some of those cars you had to have just some specialized tools just for that kind of a car. You had to buy just the right kind of thing, or make it if if it was something you could make. But let's see. Dave Clemens says, Troy, you're in Michigan. Yeah, I think that's where he's at. And we're talking computers, I guess. Everything wants to update. Linux will take care of that problem. Javi just sent me a message. He's asked me if I'm going to try the single cam. He made me a, I guess I can since there's not much action going on here. But I was having trouble. This is this where it says the coffee sessions and all that. This is just the background. And of course, if I use the single view here, it covers up the background. So I needed an overlay, and I was having trouble getting one made. So my buddy Javi, I sent him the thing, and in just a few minutes, I don't know what kind of software he used, something that I didn't have, and he made it for me. So let me turn off the Rocky Cam for a sec and go here and turn that off, and then come here, and I've got a single thing like this. I'm just not a fan of well, if I do this view, I'm just not a fan of that. I like having a border around it. So Javi made that where I can and also, let's see if I turn that off. No, I guess that stays on there. Okay. But yeah, thank you, Javi, for the for making my border frame overlay. Works really good. Let me get back over here to the comments and see. Dave Clemens says he's in Brooklyn. That's Brooklyn, Michigan. Earl Walker says anybody can build one. It's getting the time to build it and learn the software. Yep. Yeah, that's the the part that's going to take a while. Oh, he's saying that's right. All cars are a version of Linux. Okay, yeah, I suppose they are. I know. I never really think about that. It says you can take apart a VW Bug about 80% of the way with just a 13mm socket. Yeah. Joe Downard says Dave Clemens, he's in Britain. Jeff Robinson says, I went to school for 6 years to learn to work on cars, and I still don't know how to work on them. Okay. Sandy Gibson in the house. Have a great coffee session. Can't stay on. Sorry. Well, okay. Come back when you can stay longer, Sandy. I hope you and Mark are doing well. Missed you at the reunion, but I may try to get down there around that area. I don't know. I'd like to do it pretty soon, but my schedule's not going to allow it anytime real soon. But yeah, I may try to get down there around the Fort Myers, Lehigh Acres area here before long. So have a great day, Sandy. Let's see. Yes, you're too big on the big screen. Yeah, I don't like that that view. I like having some kind of a thing. And of course, like I said, if I'm going to use the, if I can get it back over here now. If I do this one works good for the Rocky Cam. And then if I have a third person on, I've also got another one made where it works, because when you have 3 people on, you have these 2 are up near the top, and then the one on the bottom is in the middle. So I have one made up for that. And I don't think since I've been using this platform on any of the streams, I think the most I've ever had on is a total of 4 people, including myself. So it's worked out pretty good. Let me get back over here to the comments, see what I'm missing. Let's see. See you later, Jim. Have a good day. Got the panda theme going there. Yeah, David Clemens says these neighbors didn't know it. Yeah, sometimes it's funny when you meet somebody through this social media stuff, and then you find out they live, really close to you. You don't even know it. Javi said he's going to take the session outside. Yeah, it's a nice sunny day here. I woke up this morning and when I went to let the dogs out, the deck was a little bit wet, so we apparently got some kind of a little shower overnight. And the weather lady said that we're supposed to get a little bit more rain, I think, starting tomorrow, I think. Of course, they've been saying that off and on, and that chance of showers. That way they're covered. But yeah. All right. Well, I guess since there's not a lot of action going on here, the Rocky Cam is pretty dead today. They've already been out a couple of times and run around a little bit. So now it's time for their morning nap so they can get caught up. Get caught up. Must be a rough life. You sleep about 8 hours and then they get up and, go outside for 30 minutes and then it's time for another hour or two nap. So, and we did go to the mailbox too. That was pretty rough on them. Had to take a package out to put in the mailbox, put the flag up. So yeah, see, I say mailbox. Jack looks up. He loves to go out to the mailbox. But I guess I'm going to wrap this one up since we don't have a whole lot going on here. Let me update the thing. I sent a thing to mystery guests. And once again, nobody wants to come on here with me, so the score is now mystery guest 3 and Dave Zip. So yeah, Ryan Ballard, it looks like I'm starting to look like the Dolphins here. It's let's see. Have you tried the side-by-side with the new overlay? Well, we could do that. Let's see. I could do this and then go change that back to this. Yeah, that would work pretty good. That makes that one look a little better, I think. Anyway, I definitely don't like that look or that look. I'd rather have that one. So let's see here. It says, I'm watching you on a 55-inch smart TV. You are huge on a single screen. Yeah, that's where I watch most of my YouTube stuff that I watch, the different podcasts and stuff. I have a 65-inch Vizio, and I like to watch the stuff on the big screen. The only problem with the big screen is I have if I'm watching something like this and it's live, I can turn on the chat feature and it will scroll the comments on the right-hand side of the screen, but it doesn't have a way to, and you wouldn't want to try to do it anyway because it's, how long it takes you to spell something using that remote. So you don't have a way to comment. So a lot of times I'll be watching it on the big screen, but I'll also have it on my phone on YouTube if it's something where I want to make comments or whatever. But a lot of times I just sit there and watch them. Dixon says, I know you don't live here, but it's 32 right now. Yeah, it's going to get up to about 80, which is plenty warm, but it feels so much better than the 95 plus that we had for, oh man, just about 3 months in a row solid. It was every day it was over 90. It would be nice to find another way of mapping out Gatton years like the one on Becca Miller was running. Yeah. The problem is we got too big. I mean, you know, because that thing Becca was using worked great, but it was free. And then we were getting so big because she kept adding, you know, all the new people to it, that then they wanted to charge. And, you know, Becca certainly didn't want to pay for it, and I wasn't going to pay for it either because it was like $90 a month or something like that, I think. And I'm like, nah, that's, I'm not going to do that. And, you know, I am so far behind. I actually had a list on the websites, but I haven't even updated it in probably 3 years. So it's way behind and out of date. And I don't know if it's worth, I mean, I know it's kind of neat for you guys to be able to look and see how many are out there and where they're located and stuff like that. But it's a lot to keep up with. Oh, Hitch just reminded me, no mail today. Because of, is it something else besides Thanksgiving for Canada? I see something on my calendar. Let me look over here and see if it's. Oh, it's Columbus Day. Okay, so no mail running today, huh? All right, well. Little action on the Rocky Cam now. The neighbor across the way there's got their dog out walking in their front yard. So Rocky and Jack are in there saying hello. They act really tough because they're at the window barking at them, but if I let them out, they would stay on their side of the street, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, I guess we're going to wrap this one up. We're getting close to an hour. I hope everybody has an awesome Monday and a great week. I mean, you know, like I said, nobody's a big fan of Mondays. I don't really mind them because all of them are the same to me. But we'll get out of here and close this one out, I guess. Bobby says, good day, Dave Clemens. And we'll, yeah, Rocky C's, they'll have to lay down taking that now after that excitement. They're all going back in the house now. So anyhow, we will wrap this one up and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have your coffee ready and come join me. We'll see if we can't find something interesting to talk about. So everybody have a great Monday and take care, and we will see you all tomorrow. See you, everybody.